Hey, welcome back to another episode of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Reasons to Society.
Yes.
This is episode number 12. You know what I'm saying? And today we are very honored to have a very special guest in the building, my big brother.
Our big brother.
Yeah.
Hey, big brother.
Hey.
That's Scott, you know what I'm saying? Kodi Skyze in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I appreciate y'all having me on, man.
If y'all didn't know, shout out to our producer.
And this is
Reasons. Reasons to Society. Reasons. Reasons.
Reasons.
Yeah, man, we're very honored to have you today, man. You know what I'm saying? I know we both have different schedules. You in Nevada.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How's the weather up there?
Hot, bro. Like all last week it was 115 plus. So I mean, it's cooled down a little bit this week, but it's still hot, man. I sweat through my clothes by lunchtime at work. It's crazy.
Yeah, but the scenery out there is just nice, man.
So
pools,
it is, man.
Pools is like that's the place for the pools.
It's nice, but right now we're catching the smoke from the fires in California, man. So it looks like it's overcast and it looks rainy, but it's not. It's the fires and ash from California.
Yeah, that's bringing that humidity too, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, not really. Not really humidity. When it rains out here, it get humid, but the fire's really not bringing any humidity out here. So.
Yeah.
So that's a good part, no humidity.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom. I'm definitely glad we finally got you on our schedule, man. You know, we've been busy with the podcast.
Yeah.
In case you ain't here, T should be starting her hair channel.
Yes, I'll be starting a hair channel soon.
Yeah, so definitely tune in with that.
Definitely.
We know that you in school. We know you're doing the producing thing. We know that you're doing the music thing. Is there anything that you can tell us about that right now?
Yeah, man. I've been in school for about 5-6 months now. Started up for music production. Hey, it's going really well, man. Like I told you, your introduction beat that you got, that's about to get mixed and mastered down well, man. I'm learning a lot. Let's just say the industry ain't gonna be ready for me, man. I got so many ideas. You know. And
we will be starting a contest incredibly soon. The beat that you did create for us, the official Reasons to Society beat. So yeah, we definitely want you to be in a contest. Make sure you drop them bars for us.
Definitely. You know I will, man. I'll do it for you.
You got them. And for the people who don't know, you got them.
Hey, man. By the way, look out for that Kodi Skyze album coming out soon, man. It's gonna be hot. I'm trying to drop it on the 23rd of October, day after my birthday. You know what I mean? So we want to try to start shooting videos and stuff for it. We got a lot of things planned for it right now, but with COVID-19, it's hard to. But I definitely want to put the album out 23 October. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. Name of that album is called Skyze. Skyze. But hold on a second. There's more to it. So it's gonna be like Skyze, and then there's gonna be a colon, and then it's gonna be Heir to a Fallen Kingdom. So it's gonna be called Skyze, Heir to a Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, word up. Yeah, because I remember you told me that.
Yeah, man.
That's a dope name.
Yeah,
something that's pretty catchy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And I feel like the content's gonna catch you too, man. I feel like it's a good mix, something for people from all walks of life to vibe to, you know.
Yeah, and you make very conscious music too.
Exactly.
Yeah, I try to.
Yeah. And that's definitely something that we need nowadays because the world is crazy. So I think we're gonna go ahead and dive into a little bit of news.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, like, I'm tired of talking about COVID. I'm tired of talking about Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got hurricane season coming up. You know, we got, 2 storms back to back headed towards the Texas, Louisiana area right now. We got the post offices, whatever's going on with that. They're not trying to, get federal funds so it can potentially slow down the mail-in ballots for election time. You got the elections coming up. I mean, not to mention that they said an asteroid is supposed to be coming. I'm pretty sure.
The day before the election. The day before the election, we got an asteroid heading towards Earth.
Okay. This is me first hearing this before.
it's a very slim chance of it happening, but it's just like, why do they keep on putting this stuff out there for the general public? It's another scare tactic to me, you know, like
you right, man.
Before the elections.
That's exactly what it is, man. It's a scare tactic. You know,
you got this whole world, and why specifically United States election? It's not the Chinese election, not the, you know,
right.
So this asteroid is going to come, and everybody's going to not want to leave their house.
Not leave the house. They don't want people to go out and vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
anything can
happen. It's going too far.
Yeah. It really is.
Right. But the main news that I really wanted to discuss today was like food shortage. Like, if you Google food shortage right now, like it's definitely like a global crisis going on right now. Like a lot of countries are suffering from it. You know what I mean? Like China, North Korea, they sent troops around to round up house pets such as dogs for meat.
Wow.
Because they're so low on, you know, food supply.
I have not heard of that. I didn't hear that.
Lebanon is going through it right now. Like the United States is going through it. Of course, we're not going to say too much, you know, like on national news, because, you know, we're doing so much other things like genetically modifying everything. And,
yeah, right.
You know,
so
I just wanted to ask you guys, what does a food shortage look like to you guys? Like a real food shortage. Like we're used to just going to the grocery store, getting whatever we want. We're not hunter-gatherers. We're not going out and getting our own food. So like global as a national thing, how do y'all look at, you know, a food shortage?
That is a very good question, man. Like I've heard there was a food shortage. I guess like subconsciously I know, like I can see it when going to the grocery store because certain things aren't in the store. Like I'll just give you an example real quick. So, you know, we love our shrimp. You know what I mean? We love our seafood.
Seafood,
like that, man. So lately, like I've been having shrimp in the freezer for like a month now, and I'm like, I don't eat shrimp without that good old bay seasoning. You know what I mean? I can't find none anywhere. You know what I mean? So subconsciously, it's like I see it, but since I'm able to get what I need and not want. You know what I mean? Right now, I guess I really haven't paid much attention to it, man.
Exactly.
You know, so
That's a great answer, though. That's a great answer. You personally have not experienced like the food shortage on a personal level.
Not
like,
on the,
when you go to the grocery store, you get what you want for the most part.
Exactly.
It might be low on certain things sometimes, and you can go to another store. Like, and that's the things that we can do in America. If it's not at Shoppers, we can go to Walmart.
We can go somewhere else to get it. You're right.
Yeah.
So
other countries aren't really as fortunate as that. Like, how do you feel about a food shortage?
To be honest, the thought of a food shortage is scary.
Very scary.
To you, you know, you're like, bro, baby.
And thinking about what Sean said, though, just to kind of piggyback off of that, like, I love Skippy's peanut butter with honey, and they just miraculously just disappeared off the store, and I'm like, so are you not making this anymore?
Right.
And just like certain little things, just like, okay, whatever. But I just think of like when they first talked about, like when they talk about storms coming or corona and stuff hitting and people go and they say food, to me that's like the tip of the iceberg with a food shortage. Like it's like you're going in there and there's no meat on the shelf.
See, and I also
there's no toilet paper. You know, things like empty shelves. Like to me that's what it would be. But I think you'll get to the point where there is nothing and you're like fighting for everything. Like
mass panic.
Knocking at the door, hey, we're hungry. Let us in, like. Yeah.
And I can see like with this COVID thing going on because I was reading something somewhere, I forget the news source, excuse me, but they were saying like COVID was found on certain meats, certain vegetables, certain things like that. So I mean, it's like I don't want to call it a scare tactic because I believe COVID is real, but at the same time, it's like, what are you doing to us? You know what I mean? It feels like Go ahead.
Leaving a lot of questions open for us. You know,
it's
like,
crazy,
is it as serious as you're saying it is? Because, you know, like, they love us to talk about how many people have tested positive, but they really talk about how many people tested negative and how many people actually died from it.
Or tested positive and survived.
Exactly.
But you know what's crazy? The fact that you bring up the food thing about them saying the stuff was on it or whatever. In my mind, you know what I thought of? Like, I'm gonna say like a month or two ago, Thanksgiving and stuff is coming around. If you really want to kill us or hurt us, you know everybody's gonna celebrate these holidays. You will put that, just like you said, on the food.
Right.
Now we have the pandemic we're looking for.
Right.
I just don't trust them.
Exactly.
You capable of anything. If you lie one time, you lie. If you do this with this, you'll do this with that. Anything else, you feel like it.
You know what I mean? And we have to keep everybody accountable. All these scientists who claim in all our medical career fields, our government, we have to keep them accountable. But the only way to keep them accountable is to come together as people, as United States citizens.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? Like this whole COVID, this whole presidency has literally divided our country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, I know we just got into a whole total different subject. I apologize.
No, we definitely on the same. We definitely on the same path. That's why I ran down all the other news that I'm tired of talking about, because you can say something like food shortage and it goes right back to those things. Like it's all rooted together. So it's all good. And one thing that you said that I hear about every time we go to the grocery store, like there's no more of that peanut butter that you love. Like I hear about that every single time. And then like when I thought about the food shortage, I started thinking about the foods that are genetically modified that we grew up on, right? Because I was thinking about extinct animals, right? So then let's think about extinct food, extinct vegetables and fruits that we, in our lifetime, we never got a chance to enjoy because they went extinct.
Right.
I just got a fruit from Thailand yesterday. She didn't want to try it because it just looks totally different.
It was very ignorant of me, honestly, because he said it tastes good.
Yeah, it tastes good.
I'm conditioned to.
But it's a fruit that you cannot find in the United States of America. It goes to show how beautiful this world is. Like you must travel this whole entire earth to see different things, like everything, and like it's a beautiful thing.
Right, man. So I completely get what you're saying, man. And a lot of those fruits, they won't even import over here. You know what I mean? They have to be like specially imported over here.
That's crazy.
It's like a million things that's like on a ban list. Like you can't just bring anything over to the United States.
That's crazy. It's It's easier to get a tiger over here than healthy foods.
Right.
How crazy is that?
Because you will sit here and give us, like Canada will ban certain foods that they're lying to you about what's really in it, like the GMO stuff. They make you either not sell it at their stores or they tell that it's that.
Yeah.
And really quickly though, I want to list a few things that people or scientists or whoever are saying that may become extinct in our lifetime. You know what I mean? Like avocados. Like, do you like avocados?
Yeah, I like them now. They're becoming.
You like avocados?
Never.
Yeah, like because of they're saying because of climate change, and certain things must grow in certain climates and certain conditions. You know what I mean? So they're saying avocados, coffee beans.
What is the world gonna do?
They said coffee beans, peanuts, like she said earlier.
Snickers.
Said peanuts. And they said fish may go extinct by 2050. You know what I mean?
Fish.
Because they've been consumed. Yeah, fish. They're being consumed faster than they're being reproduced.
Right. And then and if you double that with the climate change,
man, all the fish that just get washed to the shore that just get found dead. You know what I mean?
And I really do blame that on climate control, man. Like our climate, because the polar ice caps are melting at an extremely fast rate, and when they mix with that, when that fresh water mixes with the salt water, it creates desalinization. Most of our fish are in salt water, and if they don't have the proper pH balances in the water to survive, then that type of stuff is going to happen. You know what I mean? So I don't want to say it's true. Lord, I hope it's not true. You know what I mean? But I can see it happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, that don't make no sense, man. So I think we're gonna go ahead and get to the top 3, right? Cause speaking of sense, right? We all have 5 senses. Hearing, seeing, feeling, taste, and smell, right? So just to loosen up a little bit, if something went terribly wrong, I don't know, I don't even want to imagine, but if something went wrong and you had to lose 3 of those senses, you know what I mean? Which 2 would you keep?
Right, whoa!
Which 2 would you keep? And what's just the top 3 that you would get rid of?
Go ahead, T. Go ahead,
I'm keeping my eyes and I'm keeping my taste buds.
Are you keeping your taste buds?
I'm definitely keeping my taste buds.
So you can see what you eat.
Yeah, I see what I eat. I can see everything around me. Yeah, that's because I can write whatever else, but I enjoy food and I can see life.
So you don't want to hear what nobody got.
I don't gotta hear nothing. I'll read lips and I suck at that, but I'll get better.
Like you're not gonna be able to feel. You're not gonna be able to like pick things up.
Oh shoot, I forgot. So I'm not gonna feel the food in my hand, but I'm gonna taste it.
Yeah,
so
you're gonna taste it. Yeah, so as long as you can
eat it and taste it, I'm
you're
good.
straight.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang.
If I had a choice, I would keep my sense of taste and my sense of feeling. You know what I mean?
So you don't want to see nothing.
You don't want to see what you're eating.
No, it's not that. Like, I can spit out. If I don't like it, spit it out.
Yeah, nah, I feel you.
You know what I mean?
You don't see nothing, though. We're not just talking about food.
You know what, man? I don't think not seeing things is that bad. You know what I mean? Because if I can't see you, that means I can't judge you. I can't see all the bad stuff that's going on in this world.
You can't see what's coming either.
You can't see what's coming. You can't see what's coming. But it is true that when you lose senses, everything else becomes heightened. So your sense of smell, you may not be able to see that car coming, but you can feel something is off and something is different. You know what I mean?
And your real instinct will probably your vibration.
Exactly.
Now talk about our sixth sense.
Exactly. All that kicks in, and I definitely get rid of the sense of smell because your sense of smell is definitely your weakest sense. That's why when you walk, if you walk, let's say you going to work, right? You work in the kitchen. Let's say you walk in the kitchen and smell some hog maws or something like that, and you don't like the smell. You know what I mean? As long as you keep breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, it goes away. You don't smell it as much anymore. You know what I mean? So your sense of smell is your weakest sense. So I can get rid of that. As long as my food tastes good.
I think I'm gonna just keep my sight and my hearing. Like everything else, I'm cool with. Like taste, I can eat it without. I don't care as long as I get full. You know what I mean? And I can probably eat stuff that I never eat now. You know, because I can't taste it.
No, I call BS.
Wait, so what you gonna keep? You gonna keep what? Your ears?
I'm keeping my
ears and your
eyes. And my eyes. Like I want to see you and I want to hear you.
Listen,
like, everything else I'm cool with.
Check this out. This is why I'm gonna call BS on you right now. You are a very picky eater. You are a very, very picky eater. You've been a picky eater since you were born.
So I don't need to taste.
Yes, but you do because you know what you like. You're gonna know what you're putting in your mouth. Let's say those beans you threw behind the counter or the refrigerator when you was younger. You ain't like them things. You know what I mean?
That's a whole nother story.
Get you some lima beans right now. And you don't have your taste, you're not going to eat them because you know you don't like them.
Right, like he's sitting over here trying to lie to us.
Yeah, because it's really all a mental thing.
It really is.
When I do try stuff,
he wouldn't eat at all.
When I do try stuff that I don't think I would like, I like it.
Like that fruit.
I would never eat it again after that.
Just like that fruit. You tried that fruit. You know what I mean? Never had.
I'm surprised he had that.
That's it for that too. I ain't eating that no more either. In a grocery store, like, ooh, no, back to grapes, strawberries, apples, the regular. Yeah, that was the top 3 though, man. We're gonna go ahead and get to the sponsors.
Let's do it.
If you haven't heard by now, Yagata is now the official brand of Reasons2Society, the podcast. You know what I mean? You can go ahead and shop right now. www.yagadah.com. That's www.yagadah.com. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, make sure you do that. Right now, you got the hat. You got the hat right now. I got the shirt on right now. I know that you
he got the leggings.
Hey.
Yeah, the leggings.
Yeah.
I know that you received your package through the mail not too long ago.
Man, I got the masks. I got a few hats to go with it. And I'm about to cop me some more, man. Like the gear is fresh. It's all good material, man. Like A1 stuff, bro. A1 stuff.
Certified. You know what I'm saying? It's very affordable. 100% black owned. You know what I'm saying?
100% black.
Support black businesses, entrepreneurship, the mindset, the real message behind them type of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Love and peace. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and shop. You gotta, because you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta
do.
So I think we're gonna go ahead and get
So my question for you guys today would be, does voting really count?
That's a good question. Yeah. I think we kind of talked about this on an earlier podcast, right? Where, we'd be all over the place.
It was like a dip in it, but it wasn't really that specific.
Okay.
Like question.
You want to go first? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go first. Like, I'm gonna say yes and no, but I'm leaning more against the no than the yes. And the reason why I say no is because we aren't voting specifically for a president when we vote. Our vote goes to a representative who is supposed to vote in our interest. But that doesn't mean that it's going to happen in our interest. And President Trump right now he's the telltale story of that, because he did not win popular vote, and that's what the presidency is based off of, the popular vote. He lost by over 3 million votes.
Right. I just saw the chart today. I was just like, wow.
Right, and he's still our president. Right. You know what I mean?
And they show how many African Americans didn't vote in those states. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And how can you vote for such trash, for lack of better words? Because neither candidate was right for the American people.
Right. Yeah.
So we were damned if we do, damned if we don't. So, but I'm also gonna say yes. It does count, because we had Barack Obama, y'all. Like, and although he is part of the political world, that tells me that I can go to my child, who is a young black male, or even my daughter, and be like, you can be the president of the United States of America. You can do it. You know what I mean? You just have to have the right work ethic, the right values, and you have to really be about the people. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm back and forth. I agree
with you all the way up until then. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the color necessarily makes you exempt from the system or the games that's been played since the United States of America been built. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like I love Barack Obama as a man, as a person, but like as the position he was put in, I can't go for it. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, we don't really believe in presidents. We believe that they're only spokespeople that get in front of the American people and say what the people behind closed doors want him to say. You know what I mean? And push the agenda that they want him to push, no matter how good of a person you are. Like I said, I love Barack Obama as a person, as a man, you know. Looks like he's a great husband, looks like he's a great father. But he was put in a position where he couldn't have won. Straight deception. So once you get into that kind of world, you know what I mean? Like, nah, like I really can't rock with you just based off the fact that you was a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, there's no way that he didn't go along with like political things as well, like favors that he needed to pull off. You know what I mean? Because he has a whole party behind him. He's not just a man that's just gonna do everything on a daily basis by himself. He still has a whole party behind him. You know what I mean? That's pushing certain things. That's like, damn, what's going on, Barack? What's going on, Barack?
Right. It's not like you doing it by yourself.
So then your presidential approval rates start going down. So at the end of the day, you're really trying to please your colleagues more than the American people. And it really doesn't matter what president you are. You know, I don't care what color you are. You did. You know what I'm saying? And it shows right now because Biden, he didn't have any pressure to choose a black vice president. You know what I'm saying? Female. I mean, all the candidates was black females.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, what in 2020 all of a sudden made black women like so qualified to be vice president. You know what I'm saying? It's political gain. It's all about political gain.
Yeah.
So
definitely, it's about lining pockets.
Yeah, because I said that was based off your first perception. You know what I mean? Like, even if you get the people in office that you want, you still might not get what you want as you voted them in office to do for you. You know what I mean?
So I get that, but when I said, as young black kids becoming president, I say that in the sense of change is starting to happen. We can see it every day. Change is starting to happen, and right now, we're starting to change, but our kids are going to push the change forward. You know what I mean? And their kids are going to push it forward. So there may be a specific agenda right now, but when all of these boomers and these older folks start to die off and we have our different mentality that starts to set in, we can start to change these policies and these presidents and how they react and how they treat us as Americans. You know what I mean? Because like I said, we already see the change that's happening here in America. It's just about getting the right people there to continue to push the change forward.
No doubt. Yeah, you gotta stay optimistic, man. Without optimism, there's no hope. Like,
exactly.
You never give up. Always keep that positive attitude.
I'm gonna say, to answer my own question, I'm gonna say, like the president, what do you call the local votes, I guess, like in your neighborhood or whatever. The mayor, those count. Those make a difference, I guess, in your life.
City council, all that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the presidency, no, only because the Electoral College, and this is my thing about the Electoral College, that Electoral College has been around since like 1870, whatever, and they were there because they said that the people could not decide on their own. They didn't have the mind strong enough to decide who could be the president. How?
Right.
You're supposed basically the one that is about to lead us and protect us and do this. We should be the only people who ever say so and who's being chosen.
But you gotta realize, we're not living in a democracy. This has never been a democracy.
It's a republic.
It's a republic. And it has always been a republic. And that's what the American people need to realize. We don't vote. We vote for somebody to represent us.
Vote. And that's what I was going to say. So basically, that's my issue too, because even about the candidates that are the electors that are picked, right? We basically, when we go to the ballots, we're voting for the electors.
Yes. Not
president at all. Sometimes they'll have the electors under the president's name, sometimes they won't, but you're never choosing the president. You're voting for who's going to. And the thing about them is this is where the game comes in at. So they're not allowed to really they tell you that they have a choice of who they're picking, but they already know what side they're really on for real. And some of them, if they vote wrong, they can be removed and replaced.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and I read this on a government official site today. Okay?
Right.
I got my knowledge to bring that to y'all today. Okay, so you could go do your own research, but we're picking the electors, and then the electors pick the president like 2 or 3 weeks after November 6th, or whenever we do the votes. Like, they're picking the president 3 weeks later. You sitting over here going home all happy about your vote when you just voted for that man, which, by the way, we don't get to pick the people who pick the president.
No.
They pick them themselves. So how are we trusting you? Who are you? How do we know you? How do we know you're really picking who we want?
Yep.
Because some of them are assigned to whatever party that they came with, and the other ones they just have to pick. Like, it's like set up.
It really is.
It's sad.
It's not. Sad. It's not what we think it is, man.
Exactly.
This is if this was an actual democracy, what we vote would go towards who actually becomes president. You know what I mean? But it doesn't. It doesn't. A democracy is a government governed by the people. You know what I mean? So we don't live in a democracy.
Black people ain't even considered humans in the Constitution still. So how does our vote count before us?
Yep. And what people don't realize,
we still don't count today. Like,
behind closed doors, they might still count black people as only like a third of a vote. You feel me? You never know.
We don't never know how it works.
once it go on that machine or whatever you do to fill out that ballot, it does whatever it want to do. They can rig machines however they want it to be rigged.
That's my thing.
They can make numbers look however they want it to look. You know what I mean?
And every 7 years, Congress and the Senate has to vote on whether black people are still allowed to vote.
I heard something like that.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, every 7 years they have to vote on whether. So I think they just took the vote like a year or two ago. So we're good for another 5 years at least. But if at some point they decide, hey, we don't want black people vote no more, and they don't sign that amendment to say we can vote, our vote means nothing. We will not be able to go to ballots and vote.
I don't even feel like it does now. I think they just mentally like to FUCK us. That's what I think. Like, I just want to mind screw you all day long, make you think you're not even a human in the Constitution, but somehow we let the 15th or what is the 13th Amendment, between the 13th and the 15th, one of them, allow you to vote.
Right.
Now you can vote. But you're still not human. We still not gonna respect you. We still gonna kill you every day. But you can vote. Yeah. And you vote. No. Right. That be pissing me off. Y'all thought I'm getting upset. This is passion. It's N2D. Let's break the ice. Break the ice.
You got any special shout outs for us today?
Oh man, I'm going to shout out you gotta, man, because you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Like, through everything that we talked about just today, just in this last 30 minutes, it all comes back to you gotta do what you gotta do.
My man. I feel like that too, and we talked about that last episode. We were talking about Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror, you know what I mean? Like, look in the mirror, change yourself first. Like, change yourself first, and then you can start changing the world. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go out looking to change other people. You know, like, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
You know what
I mean? If
play your part.
How can you expect to change somebody else if you can't even fix yourself, or somebody else if you can't fix yourself first? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta fix yourself first.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got a special shout out for us too?
Yeah, my special shout out's gonna go to my girl Amanda. Shout out to you. She has a garden and she gave me some homemade spaghetti sauce, and I just cooked that up in the kitchen. After this episode, I'm gonna be chowing down. I wish she was here to get a plate.
Hey.
Gonna be smashing on that. I'm gonna go ahead and shout out Jam Master J's family. You know what I'm saying? Because they finally, I guess, can rest with a little bit more peace, you know, peacefully knowing that they got justice for their son, their father, their uncle, their, you know, however they was, you know, their friends, you know, things like that.
Right.
So shout out to them. They got, you know, they got closure, somewhat closure, you know.
Right.
So hopefully they can come to peace with whatever happened. That was a deep story too. Like, you've been hearing things that were circling around, you know.
I heard like bits and pieces, but I haven't heard much, man. Like, we're gonna have to. You're gonna have to fill me in on that.
He ain't really here to defend himself. You know, it's all rumors. You know what I mean? They haven't officially been convicted, so it's all alleged. Everything's alleged. You know. Right. But I just wanted to do a shout out to his family. You know what I mean? No matter what he was doing, you know what I mean, that still affected other people around him. Yeah. And they can finally, you know, come to a little bit of closure with that.
Right.
And with this said, I think we're going to go ahead and get back
What you got for us today?
I just want to know what y'all think about, like, not even NASA, but specifically Elon Musk. Like, how do y'all feel about this guy? Like, he's supposed to be an independent contractor, owns his own private business, you know what I mean? And I'm just a little skeptical about him, you know what I mean? And it's sad because today, like, you got to second guess our geniuses. Like, I don't think people were second guessing Albert Einstein and stuff like that. Like, he was a genius, but nowadays it's like, what's your motive? Like, what's your real motive? Like, you know, and then like it'd be like secretive things, like him busting rockets out into the sky willy-nilly to me. Like, without the government, like, he just can just bust rockets off, and he doesn't have to come back and tell the government the data or nothing. Like, he can keep it for himself. Like, it's just weird. So, how do y'all feel about it? Like,
I feel like if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. What the heck is the point of putting a Tesla in orbit for?
Right.
You know what I mean? You spending pointless money. You know what I mean? When you could be helping in other other ways. You know what I mean?
Tesla's supposed to be what, like taking photos of his journey through space, or what?
I don't know.
And it has like a man in a car, like with a racing helmet on.
I don't know what it is. I just know they put a car in orbit.
Yeah, every time I look at it, I really can't take it seriously.
Like, I have not, and I'm.
Yeah, it's like I can't even take it seriously, bro. Like, never one time have I seen this picture and been like, we're really like innovating. We're really like,
so
it just looks like a game.
Is this real or is this a joke?
I mean, it's Elon Musk. This man is a genius, you know, by my understanding. You know what I mean?
So we watch him go to space.
He's currently in orbit with his Tesla, and he shot off like
supposedly,
things
I guess.
Air, like,
so he's in the air with the Tesla.
Yeah.
Not him, but he shot the Tesla.
No, Nikola Tesla is supposedly in. Elon Musk isn't. Nikola Tesla is supposedly in orbit with it, I guess. I don't know how that goes, because Nikola Tesla, he's dead. He's passed away, and Elon Musk is pretty much running his company right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but like, I feel like there's so much more that you could be doing. Like, I understand you're saving the world in the sense of, you know what I mean, you're not making gas powered cars, and you know, you're not, I mean, but you're still taking from the earth. You're still taking from the earth, and you're still destroying the earth, because how are we getting these batteries that you're like, these batteries aren't made with freaking
all that rocket power and all that stuff.
Exactly. Like I said, so if you're not part of the solution on what's going on, you're still part of the problem.
From my understanding, his intentions is to move humanity into another direction, into a further direction, by like sending us to Mars and stuff like that.
So for what?
I mean, I guess he's.
Well, you know what? That's our problem. That's our problem now. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. That's why we're here.
We gotta take care of it, though, right?
Yeah, we do gotta take care of it, but we don't go on the shore another new location.
Exactly, because that's all we're gonna do, right?
And that's, to me, that's another thing. You want to move us to Mars, right? You want to move us to Mars, but you keep telling us, they keep telling us there is nothing for us on Mars, but then you want to keep telling us we're going to go to Mars. So you're going to take us off.
It's been like that since I was a kid. We're going to Mars. Mars is inhabitable. We just figured out there's water on Mars. Oh, it has an atmosphere.
Right. There's ice caps on Mars. There's this on Mars. Who do you know? Who have you heard of that's been to Mars that can verify all this information that we're being fed?
That's what I was going to get with that next, because we still waiting for the moon, right? So Mars and the moon is around each other, right? Or did they move them?
I mean, Mars is like the other way, right? So the moon, you know,
and it all depends on
space, which no one has done.
Because and let's say this: if we're gonna go to Mars, let's say this: it takes Mars longer to go around the sun than us. So sometimes we're on one side of the goddamn sun, and then Mars is on the other side of the sun. So
how amazing that is?
Right.
See how, if you really think about it, just like you said, I'm so glad that you said that we're constantly finding new locations on Earth to pump oil out of the ground. You feel what I'm saying? And you're doing all this orbiting and amazing science, bro. Like, you're putting this data into a computer for a rocket to bust into the space to go around an orbit. You feel what I'm saying? You know what you gotta do to do that, bro?
Right.
But we still driving around and pumping oil out the Earth. Just like you said, if you're not a part of the solution, then you're
part of the problem. You are.
Let's just get deeper to other stuff.
Right.
What's your whole purpose? Like, what do you
killing this Earth to go to another planet just to do the same thing there? Like, that's like barbaric and savage.
They have not given us any kind of proof of anything. They have not said anything that makes sense. People are just eating this stuff up. They could say 12 plus 12 is 139,440, and people be like, you know what? It is that, isn't it?
And people look at you crazy when you don't want to go along with it. Like, no,
exactly.
I'm using my brain.
Exactly.
Like, when you create the game and people learn your game, of course it's going to be like law. You know what I mean? As information. Like, science can create this whole equation number and make thousands of people learn that equation, and now that's a well-known fact.
Right.
Like, no, sir.
Yeah, that is right, man. Because
so basically, scientists are the gods of this universe.
Exactly.
They're the gods.
You have to be an atheist
pretty much.
to deep into science like that. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like, and you won't admit that there is a true creator that created everything. That's just how I feel. I mean, like, the science is everlasting because they're always changing stuff.
It's like
constantly
nothing is set in stone. The theories can always be changed. Like, it's not a fact. They don't ever want to really consider much a fact because then that means I can't touch it anymore.
Right.
Tamper with
And all it takes is one person. All right, so let's say something in science changes, right? It takes one person to say, hey, it's actually this. But then you have to have the college, or I don't know how to say it, but you have to have a few scientists come in, test his theory and say, you know what, that's right. So we're taking the word of possibly 100 people to say this is actually fact. Come on, things
crazy.
right.
Crazy.
And we're supposed to sit back and be like, you know what? You are absolutely right. Come on, man. Like, I get it. 2 + 2 is 4, right?
Exactly.
But who came up with the number system? We did. Humans came up with it. You know what I mean? Who's to say 2 is actually 6?
My man.
You know what I mean? If we're faulty creatures, we can trust up to a degree, but trust but verify.
Exactly. That's all you gotta do.
You know what I mean? And a lot of this stuff that they're preaching to us is not verified at all. I can put 2 fingers up now and 2 fingers up now and say there's 4. Okay, because we learned the number system 1, 2, 3, 4. But anything else besides that, anything else that gets complex, you have to show us. And we're dumb enough to just sit there and let these people tell us anything and go along with it.
Yep.
We have to stop, man. We have to make.
We gotta start thinking for ourselves.
You gotta stop and you gotta start thinking.
You gotta keep people accountable.
Because that got a little bit deep. Man. Sheesh.
Yes. Let's go ahead and get to one of my favorite segments. You guys know what's coming. Pick your poison. Alright. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
Alright, so look. Would you rather be in jail for a year or lose a year off your life?
I mean, being in jail for a year,
say you was dying at 35 now because you chose to lose a year off your life, you died at 34, so you lost a year.
But you still don't know when you died, though. Like, you could be dying at 86.
Yeah, and now it's going to be 85 because you wanted to not do the year.
I'd rather take a year off my life.
Yeah, me too. Most definitely. Because jail was not like something like built, like really meant for human beings, dog.
No.
Like, like that's like the closest thing to hell to me on earth. You know what I'm saying?
So if you was having a kid and you shaved the year off your life and your kid was coming and the year you shaved off before your kid came. But you could have did that year, Jeff.
Damn, that was good.
So, like, your girlfriend pregnant or your wife pregnant, and you got a baby on the way. What you picking, jail or the year off your life, and that child's coming a year?
This is the thing, man. Like, you're gonna lose a year regardless with that child. Like, who's to say that you get out of jail and whoever is still around that has your child? You know what I mean? You might know you have a child out there. You may want to be with your child, but who's to say that she's not going to take that child or he's not going to take that child? And
when you in jail for a year, she didn't move on.
She didn't move on.
So yeah, like, I don't care when I'm dying. I just know I don't want to go to jail.
Right. I don't.
With that jail,
I'm not with.
It's so much you could do in that year, though.
Yeah, lift weights.
That last year of your life that you're giving up.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to make that decision. Like, if you came to me right now and was like, "Hey, you either go to jail or you die in a year. You either take your." Honestly, right now, I'd probably take the jail sentence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna depend on when it's happening in your lifetime.
Because it changed a little bit. Initially, it was more like you don't know when you're gonna die, but a year is being taken off, and the average person don't think they're gonna die within the next year, especially when you're like our age and you're healthy.
Yeah.
Right.
So we thinking like what another 30, 40 years we got. So if you want to take a year off of 40, I'm cool with that.
So like I mean, yeah, if you know when you're gonna die, like okay,
that's a
but
total different story.
so if they're like, so if you're like, hey, you're gonna die.
Years and now it's tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
like,
because who knows when your year is up? You know what I mean? What if the messenger told you 9 months into that, you know?
Yeah.
And then you only last another 3 months. Say what?
No, because you're picking.
I'm just saying, though, you can go to jail for a year and die while
you can die in jail. You know what I mean?
But no, because it's either or. So technically, we have to take that out.
Man, that's tough. Because if you
you
like Will said, you get to jail and you don't give your booty to the right dude.
I mean, you could die
everywhere. So. Big fat goes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick the year of my life. Yeah, like how I paused. I didn't have to think about that. I'm going to jail.
Yeah, man. Yo, you ain't got no freedom in there. Like, you got, like, I'm already a picky eater. I ain't with the cold sandwiches, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't with the talking to people.
I ain't with the meeting people. I ain't with the,
sharing my space with people I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Hey, let me ask you this, though. Let me ask you this. Do I get to pick what type of jail I go to? Because I'm not going to max security. I'm going.
Prison. Yeah, that's like more like prison. Jail, something like something.
Right. So I'm not going to max. Do you? Hey, funny thing is, do you guys know the difference between jail and prison?
Yeah, in prison they be taking your booty. Jail, you might get a pass.
You crazy.
In prison, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about your butt.
Right. So the difference between jail and prison is jail you can only go for up to 365 days. Prison you go for longer.
Oh,
yeah. So when people go to jail, they can only go to jail for up to a year. After that, if you in jail longer, you have to be moved to a prison system. So there's a difference. Just a little bit of knowledge for you guys that just dropped there.
I didn't know that though.
Yeah.
Thanks for them nuggets.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hopefully none of us will ever need that information.
I hope not. I don't want to be arguing that. I've been here 364 days.
Alright guys, we're about to get into what I like to call a GTT time, and that's Girl Talk with your girl. Alright, so I had asked for some of my friends on, my social media to hit me in the inbox for any conversations they may want to talk about. So I actually got something pretty interesting. So it's like a two-part, I guess, type of question thing. So I'm going to read it and you guys tell me what y'all think. So the first part is, are men the reason why some women are jaded / messed up mentally? And I guess I'll answer from, a female's perspective, and then you guys can say what you experienced or what you whatever.
Definitely what you guys say.
So again, are men the reason why some women are messed up mentally? I'm going to say yes and no. I'll say yes because people go into relationships and they take that with them when they leave. Like when they don't work out, they take the same trauma, heartbreak, pain, and I think a lot of girls, they don't really heal first or like do their self-healing before they jump into another relationship. So it's like you are going to take the same problems because you never healed before. You never gave time for yourself to heal. And some women don't know how to do that, and that's the part that's not the guy's fault. That goes back to her like childhood. Yeah. So that's why I said yes and no. Like that's something else she's dealing with, So yeah, what y'all think?
Yeah, to add on to that, what about the father though? What about the brother? What about the uncles and the other male figures that was in her life, in her community, her role models. You know what I mean? Like that. It's not all about the man, and that goes to the man that you choose to date as well.
Yeah,
you know that might attract you to a certain.
That's why I said yes and no. Like he said, it goes back to their.
I say yes. I say 100% yes, but you gotta take accountability as a female to not allow that to happen to you. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like males as well. That's just not a female thing. Males do the same thing. They take their past issues into new relationships. You know?
Yeah. So that's basically like the second part of the question. Do men, whatever? But what you think as far as?
I'm with you, T. I'm with the yes and no portion, and the reason why I say yes is because we as men, not all men, but there are a lot of men out there who prey on weaker women.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we prey on them. We get very conniving. We do certain things to break them down mentally. You know what I mean? And that's why women stay in toxic situations. A lot of the time, it's not a woman's fault. You know what I mean? They're just not able to. Right. You get in love, or like some women are just, and this is men too, but a lot of women are weak-minded. You know what I mean? They feel like they need that man, or that man beats into them that she will never be anything better, or can do anything better without them.
That goes back to the past too, though.
Right. So I think we as men need to step up and just do better and be better for our women. You know what I mean? But
we need to let them know their worth. You know what I mean, on a daily basis, though.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. But on the other side, I think women who are strong-minded really need to know their worth. You know what I mean? If I'm being right,
that's a lot.
And if we're being absolutely honest with ourselves, women pretty much rule the world. Men do everything for the love or the affection of a woman. Everything is done for the love and affection of a woman. We buy the cars for a woman. We buy the clothes for a woman. Everything is for the love and affection of a woman. So women need to know their worth. And I feel like there needs to be classes for this, not just for the women, but for men also.
Psychological.
I think there needs to be more like uplifting on both sides. But the other part of the question was, are women the reason why some men act the way they do?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And both of those go both ways for men and women.
It goes both ways. It definitely
because men goes act like they don't be hurt in situations, they just react different. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and women can manipulate and have the verbal abuse and physical abuse on their spouse as well. So we're not just gonna exclude women like they just that weak-minded. Like there's some very dominant women and some weak-minded men out here as well.
It's people. Like it's not even a gender thing. It's just characteristics.
Definitely. And you guys touched on it with your sis T about men and showing emotions. We've been beat into that. You know, we shouldn't be weak. We should never be weak, and that's not true. We should be able to show our emotion just like a woman shows her emotion. Exactly. So what if a man cries? Like we have this thing, excuse me for this word, but if I see Will crying and I'm another man, it's like, oh, he's being a bitch. Like no, man. Exactly. Like we should not. We shouldn't do that to each other.
Yeah, because it's messed up, and it's like, what is that really saying? So you're acting like, first of all, why are we that? And then it's like, why is that a wrong thing? Like, that's the worst thing to do, or to be, or to feel, or to act.
That's the most time when your brother needs you, though. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
A lot of people that claim your friends, they see you crying, that's when they're supposed to really grab you close. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, we can't keep preaching family, togetherness and closeness, and then do the exact opposite.
When it get real, everything break down. That's what I'm saying. Like, prepare for war in a time of peace.
Right.
So, I mean, when it's wartime, you ready for whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a daily basis thing. Like, you can't just get into a situation and think that everybody around you gonna keep it solid the way that you think they are.
Right. And that's why I've always appreciated, and I felt like I was super close to Uncle Andre. Because Uncle Andre allowed you to show your emotion. Rest in peace, Uncle Andre. He allowed you to show your emotion, your raw emotion, man. That man, like,
he was a real one.
He was real,
bro.
Authentic, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's good, because you should be able to do that. I feel like the real disconnect is like people just needing to work on themselves for real. Like, everybody is dealing from something from their childhood. I don't care if you're in denial about it or not. Like, we're all suffering from something. Even our parents. That's why we can't be so hard on them.
Exactly.
Like, nobody's perfect. Everybody's here on the journey together, trying to figure out their path.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I think people just put a lot of pressure on other people to make them happy. Like, the happiness starts with yourself. So like, once you love yourself and you're content with yourself and you're happy and you are where you want to be, nothing else needs to be done from the opposite sex to validate you, or the same sex if that's what you're into. Like, you don't need another person. It's nice to find somebody on your level that compliments you, but you should already be completed so that you guys are just meeting each other exactly where you need to be.
They're just validating what you already know.
And I think that's where people go so wrong and so broken at, because then you start not healing, taking things from the past with you, bringing it to the future, thinking all men are the same, but they still wanted to date them. They don't date. You know, people just go through a lot of people. We all need to see a therapist.
Yeah, this whole episode
we all need to talk to somebody.
This whole episode has gone in one big circle. You know what I mean? Because now we're back to that self-love, self-preservation again. We just talked about that earlier. If you can't be one with yourself, if you can't recognize your self-worth, you cannot be anything to anybody else.
Preach.
Yep. You can.
You know, so full circle.
Good word there, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, this is an amazing episode,
man. It really is.
Going about so fast,
Yes.
You know, man, we can sit on the phone and talk for hours. We do this on a daily basis, so you know, that's really nothing. You know what I'm saying? But we're definitely on it, man. I'm glad that we finally got you into our schedule.
Man, I'm so excited.
Definitely gonna be looking forward to that album that you got coming out.
Yeah, Skyze, man. Say what, T?
My bad, brother. Sorry.
Nah, you good. Go ahead. Say what you gotta say.
I was gonna say, and we're looking forward to having an in-person episode.
Oh, definitely. Like I told you, man, I plan on coming home to see you guys soon. Hopefully before the end of the year. If not, definitely at the top of the year. I'll be coming to see you guys.
Can't wait for that.
But
most definitely.
Yeah, man, it was good. I appreciate you guys having me on, man. This was an amazing talk. I always enjoy watching you guys' podcast, man. It's very enlightening. Even with certain issues, man, it makes me go look up things and, you know, get a different perspective.
Because we don't know everything either, you know what I mean? That's why we always tell our fans to make sure you drop all the comments below.
Do your own research.
If we do say something you disagree with or we was inaccurate with our information, please let us know. We don't know it all. That's the reason for this podcast.
Exactly.
That's why we have our guests on, let us know what their views are on things like that. We can agree to disagree. It's cool. You know what I mean? We're just trying to push the community forward. You know? what I'm saying? You are definitely a major reason to society. Thank you for coming out for us today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Turn on that bell notification, guys, if you haven't already.
Hey.
For the next time, we out, baby.
Hey.
Bye.
Skyze, heir to a fallen kingdom, coming soon.
Most definitely.
Check that out.
Yaga.